listened to some couples laying their complaints. We have been able to, listen to some conflicts, in marriages. We have been able to listen to the silence, pain, struggles, and the disappointment so many are managing or living with in their marriages. And some that could not manage theirs got to the extreme of doing some unthinkable things. Like these days, it's common to come to social media and see posts on somebody burning the wife, this one pouring acid on the husband, this person killing the wife, this one, it's becoming common these days. And I think that majorly the cause of all these things can be rooted to the sense people use in getting into marriage, in being in the marriage, or in walking out of the marriage. That is why today we are looking at a sensitive topic, trusting that God will help us to handle it. And that topic is pre-marital sense. Now, let's say this. People have over the years beaten so much on this issue of premarital sex. Yes, especially in the fold of Christians. And we're meant to believe that the only thing that could make marriage not work, the only thing that could majorly affect the sanity, the sanctity, the sustainability of marriage could be that. To an extent, there is truth in that one. But digging deeper into the issues surrounding challenges in people's marriages, we have come to realize that there is what we call premarital sense. Yes, premarital sense is all about the sense, the understanding, the knowledge acquired, the belief system, the mindset of one before going into marriage. And we are trusting God that at the end of this our discussion, there will be so many restructurings in our mindset concerning marriage that going to talk about premarital sex will be a low issue, because by now we must have crossed that level that is not even supposed to be mentioned, because we are expecting people that are matured to go into marriage. Welcome to your family this week with Precious Caleb. My name is Precious Caleb, and I'm happy hosting you today. All right, there are so many things happening in people's marriages that some people around that are watching those marriages seem to be getting scared about marriage. Some told me that they won't want to get married, that they just want to, be in relationship with people, have people to stay and gist with, laugh about. If there is need to travel together. But you see that commitment called marriage, that there are plenty buzzwords in marriage. The issue of in-laws, the issue of don't do this, don't do that, and with all the abuse cases coming up, I will laugh at them and say, oh, it's all about the sense we are having towards marriage. First of all, we must understand that marriage is a good gift, one of the best gifts God gave us apart from salvation. That is marriage. And marriage is a beautiful thing. The Bible says that it is honorable. It simply means that those that are married, those that are designed to get married, have something to do with honor. So if you're looking for honorable persons, look out for those that are married, because marriage is honorable. Now, so desiring to get married, thinking about marriage should be a thing that should make one to be happy. So all those things that are happening around people's marriages that are making some to get discouraged should just be flushed out, because we want to handle this thing now so that our sense will be redirected, restructured with a better orientation. Marriage is a working relationship, a lifelong covenant relationship between a man and a woman that will bring them together, that they are together, have become one flesh, and they will remain like that till death separates them. So marriage is for matured minds. Marriage is for matured person. Marriage is for those that are determined to be joined, to become one, and they will not be separated by anything except when death comes in. But there are so many causes of these things we notice that are not going on well with marriages. In fact, it's more like is always there on social media. We have so many reasons why people get married. Some get married because they want to create content. Some get married because they want to have a traffic on their on their handles. Some get married because they want to get associated with a particular class of person. Somebody told me, it can't be that I'm from a poor home, and when I want to marry, I'll marry somebody from poor home, a poor family. I'll marry somebody that is from poor home. Am I condemned to remain poor? It simply means that the person's mindset already is that marriage is supposed to change his or her economic status. So many reasons. We are not going to those reasons now, but let's look at the basic areas that we not putting our sense in place will make way for so many misunderstandings, conflicts, and unavoidable quarrels, misunderstandings in our marriages. Now, when we talk about sense, in our elementary science, in integrated science, in biology, I guess, we were taught about sense organs. You remember that? Now, we want to say that the major causes of regrets, disappointments, pains, hurts, conflicts, and all the misbehaviors in marriage could be as a result of all these things not considered appropriately around our sense organs. Let's look at it this way. I think before one gets married, there is need for the person to observe the sense organs, the information the sense organs of the body is given to the person, and how the person relates with his or her sense organs. Yes. For example, we have the organ of sight, the sense organ of sight, that is eyes, but we have that of hearing, ears. We have the one of speech. We have the one of taste, tongue. We have the one of perception, I smell, nose. We have the one of feeling, contact, skin, touch. Now, have you noticed that if those that are already married and are having challenges in their marriage, if they look back now, they will discover that they were deceived because of the lies the sense organs of their bodies told them about the person they were getting married to. Let's break it down. The person you are about getting married to, or the person you're married to, are you not being honest enough right now to notice that what you see or what you saw about the person influenced your decision to marry or not to marry the person? What you saw about that lady, what you saw about the young man. Maybe the young man was good at dressing. The young man had a good way of walking, way of relating with people. You were always admiring his physical appearance. What you were seeing about him could be what made you believe that he was the right person for you to marry. Sometimes, the way he will walk, the way he will dress, the way he will play, if he's in sports, the way he plays, the way he dance, the way, all those things. And maybe as a lady, you look at the lady, her body structure, the fittings, talk about the breast, talk about the hips, talk about the way she will always walk, and all the way she will greet people, all those things put together. You say, wow. So what your eyes were seeing made you to go into a lifelong covenant relationship with that person. Your sense organs dragged you to that. Then we also know that there are some people that, because of what they perceived, there are some that are easily attracted to people because of the perfume, the body spray, or nice fragrance that comes out from their bodies. There are some that, they like staying around this lady because the lady wears good perfume. Because the person doesn't smell nice. What they were perceiving or what they perceive from the person discourages them. So, talking about getting married, and some of the marriages that are into right now, it was what they perceived that dragged them to that marriage. You are a young man, you like eating. You don't have money to eat, to buy what you eat. But every time you be passing at the corridor of that lady that will always fry this, cook this, that what you are perceiving, what you perceive, dragged you to that lady. Not because you so much loved her, not because you made inquiries about her, because of what you were perceiving. Maybe sprays on her body, the food she was cooking, whatever made you to always go around. And one thing, as they will say, led to another, and marriage appeared. Perception. You also have those that you could have married though, but because of what you perceived around them, you said no. Are you following me? We are talking about premarital sense now. And we said that talking about premarital sense, we are looking at the roles, the sense organs we have played in we getting married, or the organs are playing in our choice of marriage partner. To let you know that some of the problems we are having in marriage now were all came from the offshoot of our sense organs. We've talked about sight. You saw the young one, you were like, wow. You saw the lady, oh my God. Look at beauty. Look at shape. Look at dressing. Look at steps. Look at packaging. Look at, man. Oh, at all costs, I must marry him. At all costs, I must marry her. Based on what you saw. Then we talk about perception. Oh, nice smell. Or, no, she doesn't smell nice. Oh, the man stinks. Or you just be passing. This lady fries all the time. Oh, this lady can cook soup. See, you be in your own flat and you be perceiving the aroma of that lady's soup. Or anything the lady is cooking. That perception will be drawing you close to the person. Before you know it, you have contracted marriage. It's now, will you marry me or will you not? You will not listen. We are trying to say that our sense organs brought us to where we are in marriage, whether for good or for bad. Apart from that of perception, we also have that of hearing. There is that sense organ that is there to help us to hear. Some of us got into marriage because of the sweet words spoken to our ears. Or because of what we heard about the person, or what the person said to us, or what we heard from the person. Maybe you say, oh, this lady has a nice voice. Oh, this young man can sing. When he starts singing like this, immediately I hear his voice. Oh, or you say, this guy, that is the way his voice is. The voice is coarse and oh my God, he has romantic voice. And that is all that matters to you. You say, this lady, wow, this one, Jesus, if I talk with her on phone, her voice can make my body to be shaking, to be vibrating. Oh, I'm in love with her. It concerns me. So, the voice of that person, or what you hear about the person, or what you hear from the person, dragged you or is dragging you to that marriage. We're looking at premarital sense. It simply means that what the person said to you, what this your ears heard from the person about the person, can determine how your marriage will turn out. The fourth one is that one of tongue. Some have sweet tongue. They wrap you up like this, eh? Your whole body. There are men that are good at that. Let them not remember you. You're saying that you're a hard lady, They fine-tune their tongue like this, eh? And come and do work, eh? With their tongue in your mind, in your memory. You lose control there. Apart from that one of speech, the tongue, we're talking about taste. What you allow to have contact with your tongue. Hi, this lady can cook. You may not be perceiving the lady's food, but you taste her food, you say, wow, now here we die. Tongue, taste. That organ is there, trying to tell you the person to marry or the person not to marry. Did you get that? The person to marry and the person not to marry as a result of tongue, taste. They give you sip, you drink. Oh, this man, hi. Oh, this man. If he takes you out, the guy has taste. He will give you best treat, this and that. They buy this for you, buy a chop. And your mind will tell you, oh, na so life day. Forward. Now there will they go. Somebody will tell you easy way. Listen, hey. The man doesn't eat rubbish. If you see the type of food he makes available for me, the Bible says that food for the stomach for the food, all of them are waste. The fifth one now is that one of body, touch, feeling. There are some that will say that, what attracted me? What attracted him to me was the day he touched me, man. My whole body melted. Touch. And there are some that are good at that. They can give you a part like this and you melt. They can touch you, your whole body will be on fire. They have a way of, trying to remove what is not anywhere on your face. Trying to, and to tell you the truth, women, we like touch. Women, we like touch. You hug her and say, oh, what a beautiful day. I'm so happy seeing you. Now you're combining the touch, what you're hearing, what you're seeing, and all this put together. You make up your mind and say, now this person I'm going to marry. Every other advice, if that advice is not in support of this thing that your sense organ is telling you, it's not working. But there is nothing wrong with you having relationship with your sense organs. But in all these things that your sense organs can present to you, there is one organ that I would like you to add to the sense organs. And that is the organ I call your mind. So when the taste, when the feeling, when the perception, when the hearing, and when a touch, all of them come together, directing you to a particular person, or one or few of those things come together, trying to channel your mind, channel your decision towards a person. Please pull yourself back and go and visit this organ that is called the mind. It's the seat of decision. That is where you do your reasoning. That is where you analyze things. That is where you calm down and observe. You begin to ask questions. Majorly, the problems we are having in our marriages today came up because some made use of the 5 organs, sense organs, but they threw away this most important organ when it comes to decision towards the person to marry. And that is that organ I call the organ of the mind. The mind is the baba of the organs when it comes to the person to marry. You see, this year, you'll be more careful when the organ of touch wants to give you the feeling that will make you to go in a particular direction, or when the organ of taste will make you to talk rubbish and start behaving abnormally, when the organ of hearing will begin to mesmerize you and make you to feel as if nobody has spoken such words to you, when the organ of sight will make you to behold, you look and look and look and look and you're almost out of this world. When all those organs come together and they want to drag you to a particular person, tell those organs to please excuse you, that there is another organ that is very important that you must consult, and that is the organ of your mind. Reasoning is what we can do when we go to that organ called the organ of the mind. It is with that organ of the mind that we can assess to know what is the reality on ground and what is deception. You see, the organ will help you to engage yourself in different important directions. Look at what will happen if you engage that organ of your mind. You see, all this while I've not mentioned sex, because sex is not as important as people think when it comes to marriage. Because some people, instead of them to engage their mind, they focused on sex. And some of them fell into that because they responded to sight, they responded to hearing, they responded to taste, they responded to perception, they responded to feeling. So the whole thing landed in sex. That is not my focus today. My focus is on bringing your mind to help you make the right decision on when or the person to marry, or now that you're married, on how to go about your marriage, so that these sense organs will not control you more than your mind should control you. So you're going to engage your mind towards, number 1, having thorough understanding of marriage. Whether you're already married or whether you're yet to marry, whether you're separated, you're divorced or widowed, I'd like you to sit down now and ask yourself, what exactly do I know about marriage? What did people tell me about marriage? And what does the Word of God say about marriage? Marriage, is it something I walk into and walk out of? Is it something that I just use for official people so that when I'm filling forms, they will say single, married, or so I just like, what exactly is marriage? In one of my books, What Marriage Is Not, I said it before. I expect you to have access to that book. I listed and discussed about 30 different things that marriage is not. And anybody that goes into marriage thinking that this is what marriage is, why it is not what marriage is, will get there and get so disappointed. Will feel wounded. Will say that, oh, is disappointed, is offended that somebody deceived him or her. But if you make out time now, before you go into marriage, you gather your premarital sense and engage your mind in having a thorough understanding of what marriage is. Marriage, what is it? Now, I expect you to go and buy books. Own your own books. Books that talk about marriage. I can recommend so many books to you. You have books like this, Things I Wish I'd Known Before Getting Married. You have books like this, that is from Gary Chapman. You have this, From Courtship to Honeymoon. So many books. You can pick any of my books, Choices and Marriage. There are so many good books on marriage, Christian books on marriage. Please pick them and have a balanced understanding of what marriage is. Because marriage is not a child's play. Marriage is not for children. Marriage is not for teenagers. Marriage is for adults that already God has given an assignment. God has brought into a space where they should walk. Marriage is not for children. Yes, marriage is a serious business. And marriage is one of the most important things to God as far as creation is concerned. And God is passionate about marriage. At that, we must have it at the back of our minds that God is not joking about marriage. At that, we must not joke with marriage. With that, we go into marriage with seriousness, with full consciousness of how important marriage is to God. So I would like you to engage your mind, engage your sense. The premarital sense you're supposed to have should bring your mind to the full understanding of what marriage is. Did you get that? The next point is that you engage your mind towards adequate preparation for marriage. There should be adequate preparation, adequate plan for marriage. You should prepare for marriage economically, socially, financially. Very important. Spiritually, and in so many other ways. How do I mean? You should spend more time, engage your mind towards preparing about your marriage. Think and ask yourself, how prepared am I financially towards this thing called marriage? Because getting married, you're going into lots and lots of activities that will be taking money from you, and maybe from time to time be using money to you. So what is the preparation you're making about marriage financially? There are bills to be paid. Are you aware that there are bills to be paid? And if children come as a result of the marriage, the children will feed. The children will go to school. Okay? Children will go to school. And going to school, they will need snacks. They will need school uniforms. They will have books. They will need so many things. And all these things, you don't get them by just smiling every morning. You get them by doing something that will generate money. Yes. So, you must prepare financially. The lady that you're getting married to will be changing clothes from time to time. There are things that she must have from time to time. At least every month, she should be able to comfortably take care of her 4, 5, 6, 7 day visitor. And it takes money. The lady you're getting married to, you will need money for her to look better, to bait good soap. Don't force her. Don't force her to be enduring. And you start quoting scriptures for her. You know that long suffering is one of the fruits of the Holy Spirit. That's not why you married her. Your husband, the man you're getting married to also, you need to be prepared financially so that when there is a little challenge in the marriage, you'll be able to stand up for him. Yes, so it is very important. Every woman should not depend on the husband 100% for every financial support. You don't need to kill your husband with loads and loads of financial needs. Prepare yourself to financially. There is no law that says that your husband must have money more than you do. So prepare and have your own money. Coming into your husband's house, you have your own money. You can even get yourself involved in some, some money yielding activities to support your husband. So you don't have to fold your hands like this and say, so far in this my house too much. Let me just get married so that I'll eat better food. Like one guy that wanted to marry a lady told the lady, in my presence, you see, this type of food you're eating, don't worry. If you marry me, you eat better food. I was looking at him. And I'm happy that the lady refused to marry him. Because that was a very wrong approach. That by the way. But that you need to prepare and have your own. So that as you go into the marriage, you will not over labor your husband. And you, the husband, you will not leave your wife to carry more than she should. She's there to help you and not to lead the way. So as you're preparing to get married, tell yourself that financial preparation should not be overlooked because needs will come. Apart from financial preparation, there should be social preparation. You need to prepare your mind. You need to ask yourself, when we get married, will I allow my husband to be going out to be meeting his friends? Or my wife, will I allow my wife to be bringing her friends home? Or are we the type that like going out from time to time? Okay, what are the events that I know that this person has done in that aspect? Somebody like me, obviously, I like mingling with people. I interact with people. I like happy environment. So if you don't have that preparation, social preparation for my type, you marry me, you just be getting uncomfortable from time to time. Because I can walk up to somebody freely and say, wow, your clothes is fine. I like your haircut is fine. Oh, I'll hug the person. If you're not comfortable with me in that social aspect, you'll be having some issues. So ask yourself, am I prepared socially for marriage? What are the things that I cannot tolerate in the social life of the person I'm getting married to? I'm the outgoing type, but I select where I go to. I select how I mingle with people. But at that, some people like me, if you're not prepared socially, you may not have peace marrying our type. That's it. You should also prepare even physically. I can't understand why you are a young lady growing up. You get married. You don't know your genotype. You don't know your blood group. You don't even know when you're menstruating. You don't know what is ovulation. You don't know how to dress. You don't even know how to bathe. You just carry 2 or 3 cups of water, put inside the bucket, fill it with ice, and pour in your body and come out. Everywhere is smelling. You can't even wash your undies. You don't know when you are in your period, everywhere is littered. You're not prepared for marriage physically. To brush your mouth is a problem. You remove your undies, you soak it for days, And this is what you want somebody's innocent son to come and suffer. No. So you see why we are saying that premarital sex is not our problem now, because that one is outdated. We are talking about premarital sex, where you engage your sense in understanding what marriage is and in understanding the need for you to prepare. As you're preparing socially, as you're preparing financially, we expect you to prepare physically too. Stand in front of mirror as a young lady and ask yourself, is this what I'm going to offer this man that is going to marry me? Is there any aspect of my physical appearance that I should touch? Yes, so you know that there is a way your type of lips. When you laugh, everywhere, everything, including your esophagus, will show. Then you start packaging yourself. Yes, so we learn those things. So you know the shape of your face. Then you plan on what to wear. You plan on how to tidy yourself. That is physical preparation for marriage. You don't go and suffocate somebody's son and then, hey, he's looking outside. He likes seeing good things. So become the good thing he is seeing in that marriage. So you must prepare physically. Look at yourself. If it's possible for you to work on your tummy, for your tummy to go in, you do. If your tummy cannot go in, there are ways you dress and your bulging tummy will not even be a problem. Your bulging tummy will blend with your dressing. So you must prepare physically. You know your health condition. I'm talking to ladies now. You know your health condition. You know if there are questionable issues in your health physically. And you don't want to handle those things now. You want to carry yourself like that and go and dump in one innocent brother's house. And tomorrow, you come and start disturbing pastor pray. But you knew before that time what happened to the premarital sense. That is what we are talking about. You engage your mind in things like this. Having adequate preparation. Marriage doesn't just happen. Marriage is something that takes place. And what takes place actually takes time. So, you must prepare physically. Then you must prepare physically by the man. Man, I'm talking to men now. Brother, you need to prepare physically. Let me adjust so that I will say this one. You see, the Bible talks about those that are eunuchs. Some were born eunuchs. Some were made eunuchs. Some decided to become eunuchs. Brother, you know that in that matter, you cannot, that the organ there is not functioning. And because we tell people, don't engage in premarital sex. You engage your don't engage in premarital sex. Why not engage in premarital sex to know that when you get married to that lady, there will be need for you to visit her in the Holy of Holies from time to time. And when the time comes, you just stop at the western door and be confusing us that you're doing ushering work. No. There is need for you to prepare in that capacity. If it is not there, it is not there. If there is a problem, let us know now. We have handled cases where after wedding, the young lady discovered that there was nothing, because after the wedding that day, the man took drugs and performed. The lady said, hey, my waiting was worth it. Then after about a week or two, when the drugs were not readily available for the man and with his health condition, the lady discovered that it has finished. It became a serious case. Did you understand? So I think that we should encourage brothers to also get themselves involved in that physical preparation. Prepare yourself. Know your health condition. Look good, brother. Look good. If there is need for you to shave your beards. If you want to keep long beards, make sure you keep your beards neatly. It's not when the lady is coming, the thing is like hard brush, scratching her face or everywhere. Yes, you ask yourself, am I physically fit? As a young man, you don't know your blood group, you don't know your blood genotype. You don't know. You just don't know. And you think that somebody's daughter will just come and be wasting her precious time. No, it's not going to work. Oh. You as a young man, you cannot brush well, you cannot brush your mouth well, you cannot brush your beer, you can't tidy yourself. You wear one boxer for 1 week and they ask you, say, hey, boxer no dey smell, and the lady will be enduring, because if she talks now, you report her to her pastor or you report her to her parents and she'll be enduring. We are talking about premarital sense. Before you get married, please bring your sense to this preparation, because it is very, very important. Preparation physically. Prepare yourself physically. Yes, so prepare yourself physically. Then in that physical preparation, have you arranged for an accommodation? Or you mean you're planning to get married? You want to get married to that lady, but there is no place for you and the lady to be staying. You marry her and carry her to your parents' house, so that your sisters and your wife will be dragging space, or you do timetable for them. The person that should sweep from corridor to sit out, the person that should sweep from kitchen to abeg, engage premarital sense, because in marriage you live and cleave to your wife. So that is where you must make adequate preparation physically. Get your own accommodation, even if it's just one room, but it is two of you, because it will help you to build closeness and intimacy. And with time, you get to understand each other better. So we are saying that in premarital sense, there is need for adequate preparations. You must engage your mind. Your mind is the most important sense organ. We have added to the normal sense organs we are taught in school. When it comes to marriage, mind is the most important sense organ. Yes, most important sense organ. And that mind will tell you to have a thorough understanding of what marriage is and do a thorough preparation. Have a thorough preparation for marriage. And in that thorough preparation, we said you must prepare socially, you must prepare financially. Now we are talking about preparing physically. We are of the opinion that you should have a physical structure where you can have physical intimacy, share privacy with your wife. Don't drag your wife to your family house. Don't drag your wife to your friend's house. I say, just be managing. Hold on. It is not time. That holding on is not working. No. That holding on is not working. Even if it means one room, face me, I face you, but it is in your name. Physically have a place you have planned that you're going to stay with your wife. It is premarital sense. In preparation too, we are trying to say that there is need for you to also prepare emotionally. Marriage comes with lots and lots of passes. Sometimes you wake up, your wife doesn't feel like talking to you. Did you quarrel with her? Did you do anything to her before? And you ask her, babe, any problem? Say, no problem. Why are you not talking to me? I just don't know. You must prepare yourself emotionally. Because at that point, if you're not prepared, if you didn't engage your premarital sense in the aspect of emotional preparation, you misunderstand her. You say that she's just rude. She can't even greet somebody. She's not quarreling with you. She's not quarreling with anybody. But all of a sudden, the hormones in her body. In fact, somebody said that women have so many wires that sometimes two, negative, positive, some will just spark like this. And the wife you were just playing with will all of a sudden turn and be wondering why you're laughing. She cracked the jokes. You're laughing at the joke and she's misunderstanding your laughter. She was laughing with you. All of a sudden, her mood will change. If you're not prepared emotionally, these things, when they start manifesting, you'll be acting as if something has gone wrong. You must have emotional preparation, knowing that there are times a woman will want to stay with somebody else apart from you, the husband? Are they sleeping together? No. Are they? No. She just wants to find out if she's still as fine or checkable as she used to be. Is it that she's trying to say no? Because maybe for some time you've not been checking her, so sometimes you feel like staying and allowing somebody to admire her beauty and things like that. If you're not emotionally prepared for that, when another person is telling your wife, wow, you're so beautiful, you'll be offended. You go and buy petrol and keep and wait for her to come back. You must be prepared emotionally. Women, we have, in fact, you know that women, we have plenty things we are putting on this our body. In fact, when a woman wants to wear clothes, there are plenty things she's wearing. That is how women are emotionally. We have sometimes we don't even know why we wear some things we are wearing. We don't know. We'll go and wash our hair, we'll weave our hair. We'll weave our hair, then we'll come and carry wig cap and cover it. Then go and carry wig and put. Sometimes we women, sometimes we wear about 3 different wigs on top of this our hair and still carry turbanate and put and carry another thing and put. That is how we are. And if you're not prepared for us emotionally, that marriage is having problems already. So as a man getting married, planning to get married, engage your premarital sense and know that there is need for you to make adequate preparation emotionally for that marriage. Sometimes you notice that you self as a man, when your wife gets pregnant, the wahala the women bring when they are pregnant, sometimes we don't even have manual to handle their own. Somebody like me, I've known that at a particular month, I'll come up with a particular craving. What I don't like eating naturally. At 7th month, I will leave my house. I'll pass where others are selling. I'll go to hospital, go to antenatal section, and go and buy that thing, eat it, turn and go home. So if you have somebody like that, you'll be having problems in your marriage because there is an emotional exposure a woman can come up with while pregnant. A woman that is pregnant can wake up in the night, tap you to go and prepare pap. By the time you finish preparing, by saying no, that she said you should prepare akamu. What is the difference between akamu and pap? You stay there and you answer questions till you're tired. And if you don't have control over your mind or your emotions, you feel offended. Prepare adequate. Did I tell you that marriage is for children? No, marriage is for matured mind, a man and a woman. And before God brought a wife to Adam, he already gave him an assignment. Means that any man that is going into marriage must have come to a level where he can take responsibility for things. Do you understand now? Yes, that is how it is. You must be prepared emotionally. And you as a lady, you have a lot of preparations to make in the area of emotions where your husband is. When you get married, there are people that your husband would have married. There are those ladies that wish that your husband married them. Or those that your husband would have married, but maybe because of genotype or because of cultural issues or something like that, he didn't marry them. From time to time, they will feel like, oh, what if? Or your husband will feel like, oh, what if? You find that you should be emotionally prepared for such to know how to handle them. You see this your husband that is speaking in tongues all the time. There is a human aspect of him that has emotions filled inside. It's only a matured mind that will be able to manage such. As you're coming in, sometimes your husband will come back from work and he will sit and you think he's thinking. He's not thinking. Emotionally, you think that that he's hiding some things from you. Men, the way men's brain is wired is that there is a section in men's brain that is vacant room. Sometimes they withdraw and enter there. They are not thinking about anything. That is how they are. But if you're not prepared emotionally, he's not crying, he's not even talking to me, he doesn't want to talk to me. It's not about you. He has withdrawn to that room that is an empty room. They neither think nor worry. They are just there. And when whatever is keeping them in that room releases them, they will come out and remember you. Did you get that? So we must look into our emotional preparation as we are getting into marriage. I'll give you 2 more things, then I'll leave this. We'll continue the talk next Sunday. Don't forget, this is your family this week with Precious Caleb, and today we started series that talk about premarital sex, and we are saying that talking about premarital sex is outdated. Don't need that. We are looking at premarital sex, the sense we are supposed to have in preparation for marriage. All right, so we have talked about preparing physically, we've talked about preparing emotionally, socially, we talked about preparing financially. Now we just want to talk about preparing spiritually, and I will end this now. Next Sunday we'll continue. I hope we are blessing somebody. All right, some people think that getting married, they are getting married just to that person. The person you're getting married to is coming from a family that has history, either good or bad. It's coming from a family that has spiritual connection, that has seen or unseen battles. You're getting married to a person that is coming from a family where some things were done on the behalf of the children or members of the family, with or without the consent of those involved. You're marrying somebody that is coming from a family where they may not be spiritually okay. Maybe the family members don't know God the way the person you're getting married to knows God. Or you're marrying somebody that is not even as spiritually loaded the way you are. And if you're not prepared, what do you think will happen? I've met some ladies severally, and by the grace of God, ministering to them, I discovered that they thought that they came to marry the man, not knowing that they came to that family on an assignment to help stop something that had been going wrong generations before then. But God had put love in their hearts for their husbands, not knowing that He wasn't just coming to love their husbands, but coming to stop what the enemy had been doing for generations. And the only platform for that person to come there was on marriage platform. And if she did not prepare spiritually, the battle will take her. There are so many that got married and marriage swallowed them because they did not prepare spiritually. They just came thinking that marriage is all about, I like you, you like me. Yeah. Snoring, eating, watching movies, painting their nails, adjusting their ties, starching their shirts, polishing their shoes, servicing their cars, not knowing that there is a spiritual angle to this thing called marriage. The other time I told you that God instituted marriage. Marriage is so dear to the heart of God. And Satan is angry with God. And he feels that a major way to really disrespect God or offend God is to puncture marriages. So that you're married is even an offense against the enemy. So an enemy will want to use your marriage to do God. So already you getting married, you have enrolled in spiritual army. But if you enrolling in spiritual army, you're not prepared spiritually, you're taking a very big risk. There are some women that because they are in the lives of their husbands, there are some spiritual battles that have been halted permanently. There are some people that because of the husbands they married, a particular satanic pattern that has been following them in their family stopped. If you're not prepared spiritually and you're going into marriage, I don't know what you're going there to do. I don't know. Because some people you call unbelievers that seem to be surviving in this marriage, there may be 1 or 2 persons, or there may be somehow, somewhere, somebody that is firing the spiritual arrow on their behalf against their enemies. They may be having praying mothers or praying grandmothers. They may be having people they may not even know of that making sacrifices, sowing seeds, fasting and praying for them. And somehow they are surviving. Come and pray. They don't know how to pray. They don't know anything. But the prayers others are making for them, the prayers are working for them. But the issue now is that there is a time in the marriage that the prayers others are making for you will not be the one to work. It is the one you come yourself and confront. Aye. That is why you must be prepared. You must be prepared. That battle that said that nobody in your family will stay in marriage for more than 10 years. Or you thought that it happened to your sisters or it happened to your brothers, that because you're speaking in tongues, that it will not happen to you. You must be prepared and tell yourself that what happened to them will not happen to me. And you get ready. Or you notice that you're marrying somebody that in their family, they used to have mental issue. They used to have premature death. They used to have this. And going in there, you think that because the person dresses fine, that the person is off that hook. No. As you are entering, be spiritually prepared, so that before the trouble comes, you have your weapons on ground to silence it. Don't go into marriage when you are not prepared spiritually. You don't know those that your parents offended, and they said that your parents' children will never amount to anything, will never marry. You don't even know the person your father offended when he was going on transfer from Kafanchan to Cameroon to this, wearing multicolored shoes and dancing Orobongo. You don't know those, and they swore for him and say, because you did this to me, none of your daughters will marry. And now somebody saw you in church, you're doing very well, got married to you, and it did not hang on their kabashin, saying, being sensitive in the spirit, that you may not know battles that were bought for you